Xiaomi has just launched its new beast. We are talking about the Redmi K80 and also Redmi K80 Pro. One of these models could be the upcoming Poco F7 Pro, as remember that the Redmi K series is distributed only in China. But when it goes global, it changes its name and branding to a Poco variant. So join me to know the specs of the Redmi K80 below. It has a 6.67-inch display with 3200 by 1440 pixel resolution, peak brightness of 3200 nits when viewing HDR content, and 1800 nits globally. It supports a refresh rate of 120 Hz and has a dimming rate of 2560 Hz. The processor is fairly powerful as we're speaking about the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3i. It does not yet have the Snapdragon 8 Elite, but remember that we are talking about a device that will be looking to compete on a very tight price point. In addition, it includes different cooling layers to enhance the experience. This device comes with HyperOS 2.0 based on Android 14, 16 GB of LPDDR5X RAM, and up to a terabyte of UFS 4.0 storage. As for the cameras, the main sensor is made by OmniVision, and we're talking about the Light Fusion 800, a 50 megapixel sensor that comes with an f1.6 aperture lens with optical stabilization for the main camera. Then we will find the ultra-wide camera with an 8 megapixel sensor. In this case, it offers 120 degrees of wide, and the third camera is just a 2 megapixel macro camera. On the plus side, the main camera will support video recording in up to 8K. For selfies, we will find a 20 megapixel sensor, and in this case the device comes in a nice design in green and a kind of gray. Apparently with a new Redmi logo for this back. It has a weight of 206 grams and a thickness of 8.12 millimeters. And despite being relatively thin and light enough, it has a tremendous battery with a capacity of 6500 milliampere hours. This with support for 90-watt charging. It also has two additional chips, one to manage the charging speed and one to manage the energy already stored in this battery. So it will be very interesting to see how it will perform in real life. The device also has IP68 and IP69 level of resistance against water, dust, hot water, and more. It has fingerprint reader, remote control via infrared, NFC, stereo sound, and is available in 4 different colors: white, black, green, and blue. Its most basic configuration has 12 gigabytes of RAM and 256 gigabytes of storage, and its advertised price for China is 2,499 yuan. That's about $350, but remember that prices here are not the same as over there. Although Xiaomi takes a good strategy, and generally with the little brand, it does manage much more competitive prices. By the way, Redmi is now going to be written all in capital letters as most Chinese manufacturers prefer. Let me tell you now the features of the Pro model, which integrates a 6.67-inch panel as well. OLED made by TCL is a very high quality panel with a resolution of 3200 by 1440 pixels, 120 Hz in its refresh rate, 12-bit color depth, and peak brightness of 3200 nits when you watch HDR content. This model has a weight of 212 grams and a thickness of 8.39 millimeters, but the highlight in this model is the thickness of the bezels that reaches 1.9 millimeters to be quite thin and give much prominence to the screen, which by the way comes protected with the new generation of Dragon Crystal glass from Xiaomi, which according to official figures from the brand is 20 times better in terms of durability than the last generation. The processor is the Snapdragon 8 Elite, just as we would have liked to see from the last model, but they saved the more powerful processor for this Pro edition. In addition, it also comes with a special chip called D-Uno, which will be dedicated to gaming to enhance that whole experience. The RAM is LPDDR5X, and the storage is UFS 4.0, in addition to different cooling mechanisms and optimizations in the software to make the gaming experience supreme. The main camera is 50 megapixels, with the same sensor as its sibling with optical stabilization, while the ultra-wide camera is a 32 megapixel Samsung ISO sensor, and the third camera is telephoto with 2.5x optical zoom. It is another 50 megapixel Samsung ISO sensor that offers lossless cropping, so the device would be able to show you 5x zoom, still maintaining a very good image quality. The maximum digital zoom is supposed to be 20x, and it also includes a macro mode, so it's a telemacro camera with good capabilities. For selfies, we will find 20 megapixels with an OmniVision sensor. The battery is 6000 mAh with 120 watts of fast charging via cable and 50 watts wirelessly, and just like its smaller brother, it includes 2 additional chips to optimize what has to do with charging and power management. So in addition to the chipset that all devices come with, this one comes with 3 additional chips. Of course, it also comes with a fingerprint reader, in this case ultrasonic, unlike the vast majority of devices that are optical readers. In addition, it has the IP68 level of water resistance and comes with another chip that I had also forgotten to mention, which will work directly with the antennas and the wireless signal. This device arrives available in 3 color editions, and its most basic configuration is also 12 gigabytes of RAM with 256 gigabytes of storage. Its announced price for China has been 3,699 yuan. This is more or less $510. However, remember that the prices here are not the same as over there. They are definitely 2 very nice, very powerful devices that we will have to wait if they will indeed arrive under the Poco brand with its F7 series or not.